Hello, Tansei. Welcome to another reading of This Canoe is Heavy by Grandmother Gentle Bear. We left off last reading how they were working on the new village after many people had died from illness. And the tea is ready. Let us begin. And the sun came up over our new village, with a central gathering wigwam, a place to gather during storms, share in the hunt, and care for our elders and children. 2 fire pits were dug along the center of the space, and fires were soon lit, and the smell of wood and deer meat was comforting. Today we will all gather and prepare for tonight's feast. The new hut was earthy and fresh, with raised branches and areas along the walls with many sleeping areas for orphans, elders, and whoever wanted to sleep in there. We were home. Elders were picking their spots. Each corner had an elder that would look after any youngsters that slept nearby, and many other elders who would cook for all and clean what needed cleaning and tan hides. No matter the age, everyone had purpose and value. Feast night was long and filling, and the stories were non-stop. And this is when we hear the stories of our mother and father. We recognize their life, our life, and sit up to listen. These are our stories, and these stories we will tell too one day. And we laugh, and we cry, and we recount the days and the memories. The stories of those who came before us, those we lost along the trail, and those who were taken far too soon. Hearing their stories and all the memories rocks me to sleep. Surrounded by my family, my village, and my future. The stories go long into the night. Babies rocked to sleep, elders snoring, and a couple of village dogs cleaning up the scraps. There will be many gatherings to come, and my life will continue, and I will grow up and one day have children too. And children I did. 8 children, and a good man to hunt for us. Bush life is difficult at times, and sometimes you just need a good, strong man to balance things out. A good, kind father, and a good teacher. One winter while crossing the ice, he and my 2 oldest sons fell through. They were gone. It almost tore me apart. Some of the older kids have children of their own, and that too young to not have a father. Another family lost a mother and a brother that winter. We must also always be careful on the ice. Yeah. In early winter and early spring, We want to go fishing and get to our fish camps, but the ice isn't always safe. It's the way of life. All things must go eventually. Each day is a blessing. Leave some good stories when you go, and others will continue to tell your stories that become their stories. And I will be someone who wants to tell those stories and add some of my own trail tales. I have 6 children now and 5 grandchildren. My family feels smaller, but this can change over time, and it does. As time goes on and we get a bit older, the village grows with us and we grow too. There's harmony in life and death, laughter and sadness, but we endure and we thrive. Just like we did on the long and dangerous trail from the north. As my family grows with many more grandchildren, so does my heart. They soften me, and we enjoy our days together, and I hear my mother's voice when I speak with them. The stories come easy, always a lesson and always little ears waiting for the next story. While gathering some greens, we talked about their uses. And by now, most of the youngsters can tell me and each other what the plant is and why we need it. Mushrooms can be tricky though. We only pick the ones we know for sure are edible. And we dry some, but always cook them. Don't eat any mushrooms that you're unsure of. And I'm going to keep reading. Now, berry picking is my favorite. It's in the autumn when it's cooler, and you can eat them as you pick, and the kids, the youngsters, can feed themselves while they pick too. Never too young to pick berries. And some of these berries will keep us through the winter. They'll be dried, powdered, and added to pemmican, rehydrated and rolled into dough with honey for a treat, cooked over an open fire on a green bark peeled off branch, and the youngsters can get their own branch, peel it and roll it on the dough. It's now up to them how long they hold it over the fire. We call this bannock on a stick. It's a favorite in the village during colder months around the fire, and each family has their own way of making it, but basically it's the same. No matter your age, we still learn from watching and doing, respecting and listening, and being the example for others to learn from. I often think of my mother and father and the old cabin across the lake and beyond. I will go there one day and refresh all those great memories. I might take some of my grandchildren so they can see the memories too, or go alone and stay a while with the spirits. I might have to plan a couple of adventures across the lake and beyond. It will be a good lesson for some grandchildren on how to prepare for a canoe trip across the lake, with portages along the way and foraging along the trail. We will have our own stories to tell when we get back, and adventures along the way, and I feel younger already just thinking about it. We will need to go soon before the winter air comes over the mountains, before hunting time, or just after. Well, the story's coming along really good. The day has come for our canoe trip across the lake and beyond. The four of us set out on an adventure, 3 teens and me ready to go. They'll do most of the rowing and portage the canoe along the trail. They already know what it takes to thrive along the trail, and they're eager to take their old grandmother back to her childhood village. We'll camp at the old village for a few nights, forage along the way, and do a bit of hunting, mainly rabbits and grouse, and a few trout from the lake. It will be good for all of us. Hone our rough bush skills and sleep out under the stars. The water is smooth as the sun comes up. A few villagers wave from shore as we head northwest with the sun on our backs. The canoe is loaded, pulling a small kayak, and the boys will take their turns on the kayak, either paddling or being pulled. Maybe catch some fish while we cross the lake. We skirt the shore west for a while until we started heading up more north and into open water. The wind is low and we paddle hard before the waves come up. This canoe is heavy and it sits low in the water. We keep paddling. My young grandsons bring in 4 trout and we have food now for our first night. We come on shore and pull up the canoe, and an inviting meadow greets us with an ancient fire ring that we use with respect. The first night under the stars saw us off to sleep with full stomachs and happy thoughts of the trail ahead. And we're going to stop there for today. Thank you for stopping by and having tea and listening to the old story. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. We'll continue reading This Canoe is Heavy tomorrow. Remember to leave a comment and like and subscribe. That will help keep this channel going. Tell me your stories, and once in a while I'll read them on video while we're talking. Until next time, as always, be kind to nature and go into the forest as often as you can.